is sadly going to be a bit of a non-factor unless it reaches the late game. It's just sad to say because Johnsun just had such a great Kai'Sa performance, but that is a champ that is good about calling its own number, much more so than a lot of other marksmen ever are. And so it was good to get reminded of what we saw in the first couple games of the split for Johnsun. But if they don't pick something that can call, like I said, be able to make their own plays happen, I think it's more likely to see junglers in draft attention on the top half of the map.
Oh, well, there the music has just kicked on in my headphones and the Champ Select screen is up onto our screens. I'll remind everyone at home that after this game, be sure to join us back here for the Bud Light Breakdown, where we will recap all the games that took place this week, as well as award MasterCard Player of the Week to the tip-top player who played across our 10 games in this at-home LCS edition. With that, though, back over to Captain Flowers and Jad for the final game of the day.
Thank you, boys. Here we go. The last one of the day, the last one of the week. And, Jat, I'm going to start this one off with a fun fact for you because I know you like stats. So
I love them.
Here's a stat. The last time that EG went 2-0, well, actually, I'm going to say undefeated weekend because it's not technically just a 2-0, was their last weekend in LCS in 2014, over 5 years ago. They went 4-0 on a super weekend, still placed 7th. It still wasn't a good overall finish, but they went 4-0 on a super weekend, and that's the last time they went undefeated. They have a chance with their victory over Liquid yesterday and a win here today to break that streak. That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, they went 2-0 last week, so you're referring to the last time before last week.
Before last.
They've been on such a hot streak with now a 4-game winning streak, and if they win, tied for second. But before the split, I remember listening to Zeyzal interview in like the smoothie lounge with Travis Gafford saying they think they're a top 3 team, and I was not believing that for 1 second. But watching them in these last 4 games, with Jiizuke reigning in a little bit, Bang and Zeyzal having stronger laning phases, and then also watching Kumo hold his own in these lanes has given me a little bit more hope. But you never know in the LCS, especially now in these new environments with so many teams playing from home, and with how Dignitas actually looked good last game. After they looked completely miserable and everyone had written them off, they won a game yesterday. So both these teams still have a lot to fight for.
And remember that the last time these two teams played was in week 1. This was back during the Dignitas hotness of the first 2 weeks of play, where everybody was like, OMG, is this is the team along with Cloud9, bro. These are the boys. And then since then, of course, it hasn't gone quite as well for them. But hey, that means there's a pretty stark difference between then and now for when these teams are going head-to-head. However, we've had a lot of the draft already transpire. It's Rumble, Kalista, Pantheon, Ornn, Sett, and Senna that were all banned off in the first half. It's Aphelios, Tahm Kench, and Aatrox drafted for Evil Geniuses. Dignitas grabbing themselves Syndra, Nautilus, and Fiora.
And I kind of love how Dig has just said, yeah, let's just let Huni play Fiora. Like, let's just let him do his thing. I think it can win against the Aatrox, especially with the buffs to the top lane items like Blade of the Ruin King and the Tiamat upgrades on this patch, and a huge potential to carry this game if he's able to get going.
Bans towards mid laners, the name of the game from both squads. Orianna, LeBlanc banned out here in the second half. Dignitas going to switch it up a little bit, keep Olaf away from Svenskeren. Remember, both teams still need to draft those junglers as well as the mid laner, only for the side of Evil Geniuses. But because Evil Geniuses banned out the Ori, they're saying, all right, we're not fully convinced that's not a bot lane syndrome.
Absolutely. It could really go bottom lane for Johnsun. He's a solo queue superstar. He knows how to play almost all of these meta picks. And one more fun fact, since you had one at the start, I want to have my own. In the major regions, Fiora is actually undefeated this year.
Wait, really?
So it's only been played 6 times. It was played by Huni, Hauntzer, Khan twice, and then 2 games in the LPL. Won every single one of them. So it could be a pick that picks up more prevalence. 3.5% presence, but 6-0. So looking forward to seeing if that undefeated Fiora can keep going for Dignitas.
I'm always a little hesitant about super convincing stats with low sample sizes because it could just be they're picked in very advantageous conditions where they should have a 75% chance to win the game anyway.
I think that's super fair, and there's a reason it's only picked 3.5% of the time.
Right.
There are so many ways a Fiora can go wrong. But to talk about a little bit earlier in this draft, as we have been flying through it, Bang's Aphelios is actually going to be really interesting to me to see if it can find effectiveness, because when Bang has been looking really good to me during this win streak, a lot of it has been on things that don't necessarily need to hyper carry the game. They are 0-2 on Aphelios so far in the spring split, so this will really be a test, especially with Jiizuke on Rise. Like, can this team be cohesive around a carry Bang and have Zeyzal be in the right situation? It is Syndra bot. Look at this dig comp. It is wild.
Syndra bot, Huni Fiora, Froggen on Kiana with a Gragas jungle for maximum burstitude. This is wild.
Burstitude.
That's what it is.
Yeah, so it's like they have a bunch of pick with the Syndra Kiana Gragas, and then they have the Fiora to try and distract. It is really difficult to play correct, like, actual split push win conditions where your team fighting is poor. I do wonder if the Kiana initiation in the right situation can give them enough team fighting to end up winning this, because, I mean, we look at Evil Geniuses, they're standard. Digs are the ones that are just kind of throwing caution to the wind, saying whatever we were doing before this extra week off we've had wasn't working. So let's try and recover by doing something. And it looks like their something is, let's just let Huni play Fiora. And then apparently also everything else goes out the window because we get to see Froggen's Kiana.
Well, we'll see how it plays out here. Once again, we're going to head to our standard 5-minute competitive integrity break now. But we'll be back and we'll be hitting Summoner's Rift in just a moment. Don't y'all go anywhere. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are. The final competitive integrity break of the day has been done. And we are jumping on to Summoner's Rift here to wrap up the last game of Week 8. A win for Evil Geniuses will put them in a tie for second place with both FlyQuest and TSM. But remember, the last time these two teams faced, granted it was 7 weeks ago, Dignitas came out on top.
And I have to applaud Dignitas here for the picks. I like the variety they've been giving us here. Huni's Fiora, I think, is immediately attention-grabbing. Moving it all together with the Kiana mid for your kind of double physical damage, squishy soul laners, but then to also fit in the Syndra. Like, this draft theoretically works while also being super unique. So looking forward to see them doing it. And as we talked about before the 5-minute break, EG is just absolutely on a roll.
Yeah.
4-game winning streak after it felt like everything was falling apart for them midway through the season. And now with the win here, we'll move into a 3-way tie for second with TSM and FlyQuest.
And you mentioned it in the Champion Select, but I want to go back to it a little bit here now because we have a moment while we're just waiting on things to happen at level 1. You talked about Bang. You talked about what the best version of EG looks like, and you talked about how he's 0-2 on the Aphelios so far this split. How concerning is it that he's on this instead of something of a different style?
It's not necessarily that concerning, because I think the fact that they've only played it twice is more due to the fact that Aphelios has been so banned. Like, it's just a really powerful champion.
Yeah.
So it will be concerning if they lose again with it, I think. Because I do agree that they don't necessarily work that well when everyone needs to play around Bang. He's much better playing around someone else. But at least with the Rise and the Aatrox, they have enough other people that can, you know, create their own shot that Bang can still follow up on the Aphelios.
There's enough threat.
If they lose, it'll be worrying. It's fine for now.
Okay. Keep an eye on top lane here as Fiora, pretty good into Aatrox. It's very easy to riposte him. Everything he does that will cause the riposte to be a stun is telegraphed enough that she can easily turn those trades around. The champion often finds a lot of success against him. And even if the riposte is down or has already been used, she can pretty easily lunge away from the sweet spots and avoid bad trades from him. You can see Huni already taking control of this lane here early on, as Acadian will move towards his red buff, and then he'll be on that top side. Svenskeren working the opposite direction, starting at his own blue and going towards the bottom half of the map.
And it is pretty sad life for Kiana in the first 2 levels against a Rise. You're expecting Froggen to fall a little bit behind. I think most Kiana mids that I've ended up seeing in Pro, when they're up against these ranged magic damage matchups, fall like sometimes 20 or 30 CS behind and still have a chance of creating game impact, just because once you do build a lethality item and can get a roam off, you still have that huge amount of burst. So look to see if Jiizuke can really punish Froggen early lane, because if he doesn't, then Froggen has a chance of running away.
I like how these two champions feel so opposite of what the players normally do in game. Froggen is normally the control style player. He scales up, he has a bunch of gold, he's got a lot of farm, he wants to carry late. Jiizuke is just all over the place, looking to PvP every second of every moment. But he's the one on the champion that needs to scale. Froggen's the one on the playmaker, on the roamer. And I find that a very interesting juxtaposition here as these teams go head-to-head for the second time this split.
Yeah, it's Jiizuke's first Rise game of the split. In theory, with the way Rise can play side lanes later in the game, Jiizuke should be able to pilot it a little bit like LeBlanc in terms of the way he controls the map. But just because one champion can distort over 2 walls and the other one needs to channel a realm warp for 2.5 seconds, it changes the way you actually have to play it. In theory, Jiizuke should be able to transfer his skills, but if he can successfully add Rise to a champion pool, it would be very good for EG long term.
Dignitas knows that Froggen is extended. They're expecting some sort of a play out of EG and Jiizuke. Now they're jumping forward. It's going to be a full-on 3v3. Froggen the target as the Tahm Kench keeps his allies safe. And that's first blood over to Evil Geniuses. Their master plan comes to fruition.
Wow. That was really quick reaction there by EG. They were so ready for that gank. And Zeyzal just waddling up, flash devouring is what turned that fight, right? Like, that's the reason they were able to get Froggen down. Otherwise, that's where Dig thought they were going to be able to pull Qiyana ahead in that lane. So actually getting the Ignite out of Froggen, keeping him lower in experience, extending the lead for Jiizuke is just massive. Because if you don't get to roam ever on a Qiyana, your team's not doing much.
Huni goes for a riposte there. Kumo doesn't end up attacking into it to waste his Deathbringer stance. And nice early lead here coming out from Evil Geniuses as Huni just continues to farm. Let's take another look at this. We got a replay here, how it all went down.
Yeah, so I mean, Aphromoo feels like he's snuck in here. Zeyzal has the same thought, and it ends up being this instant 3v3. The route onto Froggen to delay his initial engage buys enough time for Zeyzal to flash W and get his Guardian proc. And that's just, it feels a little unlucky when you're Dig. You're like, we had the support roam. But yeah, the other team has support too, and Zeyzal did a good job matching.
Froggen died without using flash there. He was taken so low, probably figured that there's no way that you escape even if you use it, so you might as well keep it up and ready for the next time your opponents try to repeat a move like this. Svenskeren here on the bottom half of the map. He throws a Sonic Wave at the Drake. He's going to start this one up solo, but it is warded.
Yeah, early Drake is so low health now, he should probably be able to just take it down. The fear, like, would obviously be the Qiyana being level 6 and just coming and one-shotting you, but it looks like Jiizuke has the angle on mid lane, and will make this completely safe for Svenskeren.
Yeah, even if Froggen roams first, Jiizuke can instantly catch up with a Realm Warp, and considering bot lane has total control over that lane and their opponents are stuck underneath the turret, ward be damned, Svenskeren has the control he needed to take that objective nice and early here for the side of Evil Geniuses.
And it's also going to be hard for Huni to take over this game against a Tahm Kench. You know, the more that I think about it, because I think
Gobble gobble.
we might have a bit of a time here. I still think Tahm Kench is misunderstood as a champion for what he brings to the game. A lot of people think he is just the guy who was a get out of jail free card, but to me that's a much smaller part of his kit now, and the bigger part is how strong he is in mid-game skirmishes. He actually is a lane bully, so in like a Tahm Kench Nautilus or Tahm Kench Leona matchup, if the Nautilus or Leona go in, Tahm Kench wins because he can out-trade, and then beyond that, he stops or enables split pushing really well because of the 2-man semi-global he has, which is absurd. Like, the global pressure that EG will have with a Tahm Kench and a Realm Warp, they can hop their whole team around frequently, which will make it really, really hard for Huni to actually take over this game as a split pusher, the more I think about it.
And you can eat the guy that gets challenged in a team fight.
Yes, that also is still true. It's so much weaker than it used to be.
Look, you're
Thank
over
you
here
for
being
that.
the smart guy. I have to be the, but Tahm Kench can eat him guy.
But he can eat him.
It's very
True,
important to
he
present
can.
both sides of the
But
conversation.
he's super slow now. He can't flash while he's doing it.
Well, he's in some trouble here. A lot of damage
Yeah.
coming out from Dignitas onto Zeyzal.
Gonna eat the
Froggen
guy.
shows up. He's looking to grab the rest of the burst here. He's going to take some damage from the turret shots as Bang looks to finish him off. Svenskeren showing up, and it looks like Evil Geniuses has shown up to clean these guys up. It's Johnsun stuck in a bad spot spot as Jiizuke should get the kill pretty easily here. There we are. Come on. What? Come.
Well,
there you go. All right. Okay. I was... took a little bit longer than I thought it would. But hey, Jiizuke got the kill. Sure, Dignitas get themselves on the board, but they lose 2 for it.
Yeah, I think the end goofiness was because he was losing vision and brush. Theoretically, actually, if he could have handed that kill to Bang and they got a sys gold, it would have actually been better. But more largely, that was Dig's attempt to get the roam off. Froggen actually found a way out of mid lane. It's just, yeah, it was stuffed. The Tom Kench, Zeyzal gave his life to prevent Bang from taking the ultimate damage, and it means that they just pull a little bit further ahead. Kumo's no flash, though.
Kumo staring down the barrel of a 3-man gank. Huni uses the riposte for the slow. Remember, Acadian doesn't have the ulti ready. He used it in the bottom lane to try to make that play, but they've still got enough firepower to grab themselves that kill. Dignitas has 4 men here topside. Counterattack comes through for Evil Geniuses looking to grab a kill, and Bang's got it.
It felt like that gank was in slow motion. I don't really know what it was, but Huni flashed early to get the range on a Kumo, and then they didn't have any additional like Gragas flashes or Gragas ults, so they just kind of slowly killed him. And the weirdest part to me there was Aphromoo dying afterwards. I don't think he could actually walk away fast enough without his boots and mobility kicking in after he hooks in. And really, when you think about the kill trade, a kill onto Bang's Aphelios or a kill onto Acadian's Gragas, EG's going to take that trade 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, one of these things is not like the other. One of these things is Bang. And Bang is now sitting at a really good spot, having that BF sword, having the 2 kills. He's ready to go. And his team picked up the Rift Herald.
Yeah, so EG have weathered some of the early craziness of knowing they're up against Kiana Fiora and seem to be playing a fairly controlled game. The impressive thing continues to actually be Jiizuke's restraint. I think he actually looked pretty poor in a lot of their games earlier on this split, but as long as he can, you know, actually exercise a laning lead, which he's doing against Froggen here, and then find the right plays around the map instead of overpressing all the time, this EG team gets really good because we know Bang is going to be a reliable team fighter, and if Jiizuke is able to find the right windows to fight, the overall teamwork of him with Svenskeren and Zeyzal, who have synergy all the way back to Cloud9 World Semifinals, makes for a really good team.
And honestly, you said Jiizuke had a lot of poor games, and in those poor games, I think he still had some moments that were almost fantastic. Like, he would have some engages, he would have some plays that would nearly kill 2 or 3 people, but nobody else was on the same page as him. So it was the right thing at the wrong time. And I want to see if he can find that kind of damage opportunity when the rest of the team is behind him. Because he clearly knows the thresholds of his champion and exactly what kind of threat he can produce. He just needs to make sure that he's got the backup behind him necessary to make sure that it's not an int.
And Dig's in a really hard spot right now. They don't have wave pressure anywhere, and they're staring down a Rift Herald, and they don't have a better team-fighting composition.
The kick from Svenskeren is going to knock Acadian back through Aphromoo to damage both of them down to about half HP. It also means they can't engage while Shelly is being escorted up to the turret. It also means that they're now in worse shape overall, so EG grabs a Drake. It's all coming up evil.
Yeah, and it's looking like Dignitas is going to completely give over this Drake, which is the correct call. The one chance might have been a Kiana ultimate in the river, since that's where it is at its most powerful, since it'll basically be a Sona ult that also knocks people back when you're in the river. But it is not to be. Bang is powering up, Jiizuke is powering up, and EG has a very clean first 12 minutes of the game.
Tier stacking up on Jiizuke. Rod of Ages also fully completed by 12 minutes, has that one up to 2 stacks. It was done by 10. So once that item fully completes, remember, Rod of Ages has a ridiculous gold efficiency once it gets fully stacked after the 10 minutes. It's like 150 or something. But it's really not fantastic early on. So just give him time to scale up there. Another 8 minutes and that item will be fully charged. He'll be ready to go. Froggen, with only mobility boots and a serrated dirk in inventory, isn't... It's like you said, I mean, he's not that threat. This isn't the point of the game where he can roam around mid lane or roam around mid game and just start popping people.
Yeah, and I think also because of some of the action we saw up in the top lane, like Huni having 94 CS to Kumo's 116, I'm not exactly sure how the side waves have been moved around in this game. That's not something that Huni's going to be able to take over later.
And the big thing I'm noticing here, so all too often, The thing that most people build into Fiora is a Bramble Best early, right? Because it stops the Vitals from being good healing. It stops the whole Grand Challenge thing from really working that effectively. Anytime she wants to proc a Vital or get that healing, she has to automatically have Grievous Wounds because she's hitting you, right? It counts as an on-hit. So your opponent is already going to index into anti-healing, and he's rushing a healing item in Blade of the Ruined King. That feels a little wacky to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just the current health damage that Fiora wants to do. Like, if you think about the way the Grand Challenge is going to work, if Huni uses it around half health, like you use the Blade of the Ruined King to get as much current health down as possible, you pop that ultimate, you get % max health true damage on the rest of it. He's just trying to use the Blade of the Ruined King for like a full combo. Okay. But as we saw yesterday, I know Freak and Zeyzal were doing a lot of Blade of the Ruined King theory crafting. You're trading off being able to shove the wave with Tiamat and reach late game Fiora with having earlier game dueling power in the Blade of the Ruined King. And right now, since Huni doesn't seem like he's going to be able to win the early game duels, is just going to put Dig a little bit behind in map pressure.
Mid laners have taken up position here in the top side. Jiizuke finding a route into a combo with the overload there onto Froggen, put a little bit of damage onto his health bar. Acadian hanging out near here just to make sure they don't try any sort of dives onto the mid laner of Dignitas. But Bang and Zeyzal pushing up the mid lane here. Johnsun and Aphromoo in position to try to answer. Bang goes for the play onto Johnsun with a Moonlight Vigil, but it is sidestepped.
Yeah, so Dig able to hold strong in the mid lane while EG continue to take control, but this is looking like a pretty controlled EG game so far. Even yesterday, when EG beat TL, it was a small lead early, and then the goal just kind of grew up and to the right because they're starting to get this 1-3-1 thing down. And you can see it right now where Jiizuke is just patiently, not overextending, but applying constant pressure top lane, and Kumo needs to be able to escape this.
Kumo has been grand challenged by Huni. A little bit of damage coming through there. Waits to see Acadian's body slam before he goes for the flash, and it gets him out of the game.
And while that happens, Jiizuke gets the top turret. So this is the push and pull when you're playing the 1-3-1 properly. You have the Tahm Kench camped in the middle. If a play goes too wacky on the side lanes, the Tahm Kench can actually come over and join, and it's just making it so Dignitas doesn't have strong things to do. If Huni's not even winning the 1v1s, there's almost nothing Dig can do in this team.
Yeah, when you draft a strictly like 1v1 split push champion and then fail to accomplish that goal, well, it makes you question what the entire purpose of the draft was. I mean, yeah, they picked it early. Maybe they're assuming he'll be able to handle whatever they throw at him, but that doesn't seem to be the case.
Yeah, I'm going through in my head. Froggen's level 11 now, which helps a lot. If he can find some type of flank in a dragon fight, it's good, but like 5v5 with current goal differences, I think Aatrox Rise of Felios is stronger. And then even in 1-3-1, if EG is also stronger because Jiizuke can match Froggen and Kumo is okay matching Huni, and then you also have a Tahm Kench who can join sides, EG is better in 5v5s and in 1-3-1s. So Dig doesn't have a win condition right now unless they can find a way to find like a miracle fight.
And that point that you made about the Tiamat earlier really rings true when you just saw Huni start hitting that wave as they collided down there, especially when he's out of mana. It takes him so damn long to push this wave up,
flank.
Just doing single auto attacks against a single target.
So this is actually the moment where Froggen is in the enemy jungle.
Oh,
okay.
Spotted out now.
Svenskeren's smart. He knows that could be where he is, and he found him.
Umbral Glaive will make sure that Froggen's able to two-hit that control ward and reestablish his secret position. However, considering he's been discovered, not a good sign there for Dignitas, but Shelly's being escorted forward here yet again. They want to use the second Rift Trail charge. Remember, the first Rift Trail charge is what got it that low. The second one will finish it off.
Satisfying, and Froggen is trying his damnedest. The only way they win is if he finds some miracle engage, so there's a high chance he just gets killed before he can find that flank, because EG's on the hunt.
Zeyzal went to give him the lick, but it didn't work, and now Froggen, he has been found out by the Infernal Chains. He jumps away. He will not be yoinked back yet, but it seems he's still in a pretty dire position, my friend. Kumo pops the World Ender, slams him down into the ground, and that's a 1-for-0 Evil Genius.
Not today for Secret Agent Froggen.
No.
That was and now they know they have a 5v4, so they're going.
It's a 4-man party. They're going forward with the Realm Warp. Remember, there is no turret to protect them. Okay, we got a big distance ulti into a big distance ulti, but they will not find their catch.
It's so comical. It's like realm warp didn't work. All right, Tomcat, you're up next. Nothing actually gets them a kill, but sure, you can have your fun. They keep control of the game, and now they set themselves up for what would be a 23.5-minute Mountain Soul if they keep control.
This is a pretty clean Evil Geniuses game so far. You know, I made a tweet that may or may not have been kind of flamey earlier on in this split, where I said Evil Geniuses came into preseason talking like they were Lex Luthor, but then their gameplay looks more like Dwight Schrute. And they're actually looking more Lex Luthor tier now. Because they seem to have this evil plan that it's all coming together. They're playing the mastermind role. They're forcing their opponents to make mistakes because they feel so flustered. And that's fun to see this team evolve that way.
Isn't the guy who played Dwight Schrute, wasn't he in a superhero movie?
Was he?
Rainn Wilson.
Rainn Wilson?
I
Yeah, that's
think
his name.
He was. Yeah. This is another thing that's great about casting from home is you have access
You could just
to
Google, was Rainn Wilson in a superhero movie?
Yeah, well, I keep clicking the wrong thing. I swear he was. I remember seeing a trailer for it. So either way, it is very possible for Dwight Schrute to turn into a superhero. Is I think what's happening here is what the point I'm trying to make.
Okay, I wonder where we were going.
He was in Super. There's a movie called Super in 2010, starring Rainn Wilson. Yeah.
And was he the good guy or the bad?
I don't need to read. I don't remember. A superhero with the best intentions but lacking in heroic skills. That's the. It's got a 50 on Metacritic, so I don't know if it's the best one. But either way, EG looks clean. Let's just leave it at that.
Okay, EG, we've gone on a bit of a tangent here, but EG's looking clean. They're looking evil like they intended. And let's see if Dignitas can find a way back into this game. It has been about a 3,000 gold lead here for a while. Huni finally has that Blade of the Ruin King completed, locked and loaded, ready to go. But man, look across the table, though. Jiizuke, he's got the Rod of Ages fully stacked. He's got the Seraph's Embrace ready. That means a shield in the team fights to make him that much more difficult to kill. Has the Glacial Shroud in inventory. Could turn that into either a Righteous Glory for more engage potential or a Frozen Heart to have that armor stack and really resist the Kiana and Fiora that much better. Kumo now under pressure in a 1v3. World Ender has been cast. It's not going to do a whole lot here. Froggen wants to take the kill, but Acadian decides to toss the World in there and grab it away.
It was getting a little dicey because they didn't full burst him, and that you actually hate to see it. You really want Froggen to be able to get a little bit more farm, as that was the one look they've had in about 20 minutes that was good. Ah, man. And so, more largely on EG is they got about 2.5 minutes until the next Mountain Drake comes up, and they keep this 1-3-1 going once Kumo respawns. I never doubted EG's ability to play the map, execute macro. We know Svenskeren is the defending MVP from last split. We know Zeyzal is like this actually really strong support shot caller. We saw all these things at play. Oh, as they're going in for more.
Svenskeren looking for Johnsun. Won't quite find him. Sonic Wave only found Acadian there, but Aphromoo,
I just died.
The sacrificial move. He's taken down and bang goes on a killing spree.
Man, it just looks so easy for them in the mid lane right now. I was never in doubt to me that they'd be able to play the map like this. What was in doubt to me was their ability to get leads in the first place. And that's been a big turning point for them, where Kumo was a really, really big weak spot for them in a lot of their early games. And in these last 5, his early game has been good. And this is just allowing him to just school people. Like, look at what they're doing right now. Killing the mid lane on Aphromoo, denying the full jungle from Acadian. A lot of other teams would be in full holding patterns until the Mountain Soul comes up. EG is actively extending their lead, get the pick on the jungler, and now look at this. They immediately teleport in for the Baron. They are playing so well right now.
Yeah, that was Acadian's first death of the game. He was the one person on the team with kills, and with him out of the picture, with him being the jungler, that Baron is secured only 22 minutes into this game by EG.
This could be a fast one, because I think the Baron power play is going to be up while they can pick up the Mountain Soul, and then they might just win. They're going to set up Jiizuke Kumo in a 1-3-1 with a level 11 Tahm Kench, whose ultimate is basically global here. They're going to be in a really good position. They actually ulted back to the wave to get mid lane pressure immediately. They're not giving over any freebies to Dig here.
Dignitas just being strangled out of this game, man. Mountain Soul, 30 seconds. Dignitas, where you at? Let's see it, because something's got to happen here. Giving away that shield, especially when you've got a composition with Syndra and Kiana and Gragas. They're looking to burst somebody out. When you have to deal with that extra couple hundred HP shield from a 7,000 gold disadvantage, that can be the difference between getting a kill or not.
I hate to be a Debbie Downer.
Oh, no, not a Debbie Downer.
It's going to be tough.
Oh,
Froggen might try another snake thing.
Well, here they go. Dignitas may have found their initiation 0-3. Acadian has to go into the stasis. Bang getting himself away from the grand challenge issued by Huni. Zeyzal looking to keep his 80 carry alive, but he's not able to do it. Kumo coming in now looking to find the revenge kill. It is 2 dead on the side of Evil Geniuses, including the jungler, and Dignitas will move towards the Drake. You may have cast
Did they do it?
You may have cast
Did they do it? Did they hold it off?
You may have just
It's a 4v3 now. Froggen still has ult as well. If EG tries to contest this too much, Froggen might actually get the flank off this time.
Acadian's here. He's got the smite. Kumo, Zeyzal, and Jiizuke coming around. Froggen still hanging out behind the pit. Drake at 5k. Kumo jumping forward. Finds the Infernal Chains onto Johnsun. He's able to pull him back, but Kumo is exploded. Jiizuke still looking to find some more. Now remember, it's Rise. It's a team fight. The champion does some damage, ladies and gentlemen. Zeyzal jumps in. He gobbles him up to safety. Jiizuke's got a triple. Make it even more. Tom Ken steals it, but who the hell cares? That is EG making it happen.
The power of Rise. Jiizuke just flexes on all of Dignitas. Kumo goes down as the distraction, but the Righteous Glory Rise just flies in. Zeyzal's back as well. He just pops up towards that mid lane, and now they have 50 seconds of this Baron power play left to break open that inhibitor.
Just when we thought Dignitas may have found their way back. Oh no. Oh no. Y'all forgot about Rise, but Rise didn't forget about you. He's here to win the team fights, pull EG into a spot where they're just feeling fantastic. Huni just gets ships in the night. He just passed. He was there, but he never met them.
Yeah, they pass right through, and Huni just like, his hair flipped up for 1 second. He's like, I wonder what that was.
Something is amiss here.
Yeah,
Well, here comes the fight. Huni's caught out. Svenskeren in a fight against him. The grand challenge has been issued. It does not matter. Svenskeren goes in and grabs the kill on to Johnsun. More damage just flowing freely into those Dignitas health bars. The bottom laners have both been destroyed. Evil Geniuses looking for the win right here, right now. Jiizuke chasing Acadian underneath 2 turrets. Top lane inhibitor is gone, and the push for the win continues. Turret laid down there by Bang. The push will not stop anytime soon. I'm trying to reiterate this in a few different ways, a few different words, but it does not even matter. They have no mercy against Team Dignitas here. 26 minutes in, not even that. And they're looking to lock this one away. Dignitas trying to defend. They have their bottom laners alive now here again. Zeyzal's playing Ring Around the Rosie with Froggen over at the red buff, keeping him occupied. I don't even know what that is. But Acadian's now going to body slam to stop the resonating strike damage coming through from Svenskeren. It's a 5v4 now as Froggen's still trying to make his way into the fight. Still going to be zoned away by Zeyzal's tongue. As Kumo gets taken out by Johnsun. That's 1 kill going the way of Dignitas. They seem to have held the line. Svenskeren kept safe there. Froggen rooted up. Froggen bursted down. Jiizuke
take it, Jiizuke. Buddy.
Without anybody else in the field. What?
It's like someone takes the fireman's pole while everyone else is just hanging out. All right, he's back.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, Flowers, that was an absurd sequence. Zeyzal was actually out-dueling Froggen, and Froggen was running away from him for 40 seconds. EG is in complete and total control of this game right now. I believe they can just walk it in, but they might be just little interrupt. I think they're just going to reset to make 3,000% sure that they can win this one.
Well, Acadian's coming around to try to stop them. I don't know if he actually wants to go in here. It is only 4 members of Evil Geniuses. Kumo cannot join this fight. There is no teleport available.
Last-ditch effort by Dig.
The blue's stolen. Acadian is found. Svenskeren and Bang put down the damage. All right, Acadian's gone. Dignitas heading right back to their own base as Svenskeren jumps over the wall there with a blast cone. Huni goes in, looking to bring the fight to Jiizuke. However, a lot of damage going to continue to come out there from those overloads. Jiizuke protecting that last vital, blowing up Huni. Bang gets the kill onto Johnsun. Aphromoo is all alone in the middle of nowhere. Play the sad music. There's not much left for him here. A double kill for Jiizuke. This game is over. Zeyzal even uses the Abyssal Voyage to bring Kumo into the enemy base. Bang gets the ace for style points there at the very end. And EG, they're just goofing around letting the minions do the dirty work, and they will tie for second place.
A flare of evil genius BM right at the end of that one.